Hello, subscribers. I'm trying to make the video here as quickly as possible. Wow, 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 wow. What a week we had. I just want to remind us of a couple of things very quickly, right? The week is going to be a short week, meaning that the expiration, we have to adjust it. Instead of being weekly, we're going to make it safe and trade the July 10 expiration. So July 10 is written on the top of that onward. I'm going to start with the first stock on here, Facebook, that was added on Friday. And for that one, for me at least, I'm gonna be trading that expiring on July 2nd. I don't want to confuse anybody. I'm gonna type exactly each stock or most of the stock that we want to uplift, right? So let's quickly bring our list on here so that we have them. The importance matters, and each one of us, we have a preference over which one we highlight. I mean, you can make money out of this market trading this for just one day. I kid you not, right? This is what happened Monday, Tuesday on Win last week, and then on Wednesday, that's where we made the majority of the money. This move here, I'm already wasting time, but it's important that I can stress that, especially to newcomers into this. So this move here, in just 3 days, actually, if you stop here, at some points you have 2600, no, at the close actually, meaning that that's 2600% that I showed on that graphic. It's actually, yeah, not reflecting the truth. If you went all the way here, my friend, I think we are over 3000%. And again, in 3 days. Here's what we know about the markets. There were prints on SQQ, and this is important. We showed in the video, the daily market recap, how you could have exploited that on Wednesday to make money, big money on SPY puts. SQQ is the 3 inverse of QQQ. So if SQQ is going up, as it has been going, let me show you, the prints were at 750 thereabouts, right? This is what SQQ has done. Now we are above 8, and clearly it has a lot of room to go to 9 here. I mean, look at the chart of SQQ while we were struggling in the equities back in February, March. So, and where did it start? It started for a position below the yellow line, and then it started ramping up. So either you can trade that, they came from Florgo. So if you haven't heard about it by now, guys, I don't know what to tell you. We can spend a lot of time trading other things, okay? But that lack of focus, there are going to be, especially if you have a small account, don't be surprised that when the stocks start moving from the list, you are not in a position to make money. There's nothing that I can do about that, guys. There is absolutely nothing that I can do about that. So each one of us just try to make, it's the loss of discipline. Trust me, I know. A lot of discipline because the list is long enough. But very quickly, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight the stock on the list, and I'm going to give here the strikes, right? And I'm going to write them down, so a few. But I want to explain the methodology for those who were not with us last week. How do we go about doing that? So I look at a stock like this one, oh my God, and then I look at the weekly, right, to see the range. Obviously, for Facebook, it was just insane last week, but who's to say that it's not going to be something like that? So for me, is that the momentum here? There is a bearish momentum that's really manifested itself on Friday on Facebook. So for us, I'm gonna be trading the weeklies on here and expiring July 2nd. So depending on where it starts, because that's the other unknown, folks. When I'm giving the strikes, the market is not live. So Monday, God knows where the market is gonna open. So don't be making remark that, oh, my strike that I'm giving on Saturday, they are off the hook. You guys asked for strikes, so if the market gap in either direction, I'm not assuming that the market's gapping, but as of now, there's definitely a bearish trend that it took place. That being from those prints on SQQ, and just the way that the market was really struggling on Friday, posting lower lows. So Facebook, gonna use July 2nd, and for me here really, because somebody else, Mr. Shea asked that the other day, I'm gonna be looking as usual the natural support and resistance. There is no making it fancy or anything. So in this case, July 2nd, 200 puts, if they go into that direction. If they decide that they want to recover, what's the equivalent of that? So we're talking 16 points. So you take the 230. So 230 calls, and 200 puts for expiring in July 2nd for Facebook potentially. But again, the ability to read the chart, I've been insisting on that, right? Will help you be nimble and adapt to any type of condition, know when to strangle, which I suggest when the market is not giving you a clear direction, but when the market gives you a clear direction, like were you with us on Friday, folks? If you did not make money on the last 3 Fridays, maybe you are new to a subscription, obviously. That makes sense. You were not here, so therefore you couldn't know. But we have been trading on Friday, mostly SPY or anything that moves for that matter, because on Friday, by then, the alerts already made the money. We have had a couple of days here on Cooper the week before, or on B1, even B1. It took 2 days after I added B1 to the list, which is still on the list. So I will be looking at B1 as well again this week, because the stock that when it moves, it really had moves. But you need to be patient and not fall prey to head fakes and things like that. So manage your position accordingly with the tools that we have gotten. So that's it for Facebook, right? I'm using July 2nd. You can use July 10 if you want, because right now, God knows where that thing's going to open on Monday. So that's that there. So then on the list, again, we come back here on the list. On the list, let's say a couple of things here. I know I've said, oh, the order matters. Now, which I'm going to be just doing, they're going to say, oh, Telex, how come the order doesn't matter? Okay, oh, the order matter. Okay. Box is trade only monthly. Okay. You can trade it, absolutely. You can trade Box. It's gonna give you a lot of time. It trade monthly, but then that means that you're gonna have to pay a little bit more, right? Because the monthly now is going to be July. The July. What was that in July? July 19 or whatever. That's that July 17. Yeah. So that's a lot of money on there. I like Box, but. Another stock here that I'm like, I know it moved. Trust me, the statistic on this, if I'm to show them to you, you're gonna be like, wow, is that true? When the signal come on Gilead, it's bullish over 80% of the time, guys. So okay, I go have to give you a strike on there, but for me, you know I don't like biopharmas, right? So I know I'm just giving it as it is, folks. So don't I know you're gonna tell me, but your system, yeah, it's my system. I can decide what I trade. So out of this on here, what one can we trade? Absolutely July 10. Yep, July 10. No, that's about it. 80 calls on the bullish side. Okay, and on the bearish side, yeah, let's make it fair. July 10, 70 puts. You have it. I mean, as straightforward as that. So. Next one. But again, for me, Gilead not going to be my preference here, though it has great statistics, just because I don't like biopharma. That's just me. So for me, out of this one, how am I looking? So we talked about Box, right? It has monthly. So meaning, if you are, because I know, let's talk about that for briefly. If you are looking for a 10,000% gain, a 10 bagger, it's possible, and I'm going to say that, and then Box gonna show me that you said that Box was not likely to have a 10 bagger, and that's the one that's gonna have a 10 bagger. So what? Beat me, beat me, guys. So that's not the one, because they have monthly, so they're gonna be tends to be more expensive. We have an article on successful trading. Shameful plug, folks. The anatomy of a 10 bagger. If you spend it, I think it's less than a 6-minute read with illustration, with things to look for. So. A bon entendeur, salut. So who's next on here? So let's start with the number one, JD. JD did a lot of sideways last week. So JD is overdue to do something. The issue with JD here was that, is this daily? Let's look at daily and then weekly. That's in order, Mr. Telex. Okay, just finished a one-on-one coaching, and somebody who new to the room who she noticed that, hey, when the Bollinger Band and the two Bollinger Bands are coming closer together, yeah, that means that price is about to pop in either direction. I didn't tell her that. She brought that up. So you see on here how this thing, jeez, this is true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days out of this, my friend. What do you think that's going to happen? Yeah. Something's gonna happen, all right? Something's gonna happen. So depending on where, actually has been sideways really in the box on here. Let's illustrate that on here. Then now you can tell me that, oh, but Telex, that means that it can't continue in that box. Absolutely, of course it can continue in the box. But that's not what the tool is, the so-called Telex AI is telling us. Telex AI is telling us that outside of this, actually, big move is coming. So that's why it's number one. So hence, we're going to be trading it confidently. If it's one off, that's fine. Okay, we lose money on that. But if we consistently trade the system, well, guess what? At the end of the day, which that's we believe will happen will be that we establish consistency and make money in the long run. 1 week is not an indication of any performance, or a couple of weeks for that matter. So where are we going to be going on here? So to find the strike, right? This is the technique for those newcomers who are not even newcomers. You can go back, please spend 30 minutes in a video that can bring you 1,000%. You see, 1,000% spending 30 minutes of your life. Not sure exactly. So in here, there was little room on the upper Bollinger. Right? So here from this, that it's saying 62 and a half. In that case, then maybe we trade the July 2nd, 62 and a half, if we're going in that direction. In the opposite direction, we just do the symmetry of that. This is what I mean by symmetry, the same amount of dollars. So let's say it's 59 and a half, 62 and a half. Is that $3? $3 or below, it will be 66 and a half or so. Or if you want 57 and a half, but it depends really where these stocks open. Something has got to give on here because this is no man's land. This stock either is going to be finding its way back to the green line very soon, or it will just continue exploding. And in that explosion, because this is a stock that shorted, you see these big moves, right? So in a week, giving $5 or something. So $5 from here, it's actually that if you are playing, okay, so if you are trading July 2nd, use 62 and a half. If you are playing July 10, 65 on there. And then here you can say, hey, 57 and a half for July 2nd, July 10, go to the EMA, at least the EMA 8 period on here. All right. So let me actually write down for myself on here because that's where I don't confuse people when I give instruction. So July 2nd, we have a choice of, well, it's a choice. Our two possibilities are 62 and a half call and then 57 and a half puts. Okay. July 10, we extend that a little bit because we have 9 days, folks. 9 days. For this, for this alert, 9 days is in 2 days. Some of them get 1,000%. So we keep seeing that. So July 10, 65 calls. I'm gonna write it down at the bottom of the video anyway. And then we say 55 puts if the other direction. Okay. So that's take care of how many minutes do we have? 12 minutes so far. I'm almost there. This video will not be more than 15 minutes because by now the principle is simple. Who's next? I'm going to do the 3 next stats I'm interested in. B1, Roku, Delta. Delta moves a lot. Don't get me wrong. And Delta could be moving on here because if we are back to lockdown mode or whatever. And these stocks, the only reason I'm not neglecting Netflix, Nvidia, or anything. This one has been a headache. But Netflix, Nvidia, Adobe, they're stock that they're going to be, if the market is tanking, they're going to be the last one to move. And you have to be patient a little bit. But they have big rewards in the sense, but the price of the option is a little bit expensive, right? $436, $379, $466. I had a trader, an experienced trader, trust me, the finder who was interested in joining, and he was giving me that feedback that he has noticed that he doesn't trade these big ones. It's okay to trade them for us because we have the advantage that they're gonna be moving. But that's another story for another day. So let's look at B1, let's look at Roku, and let's look at Win. In what order? In which order am I going to knock them out? Win. Do I need to say anything? Let me just, folks. If you were not with us last week, which that happened again and happening again and again, we get 10 baggers out of nowhere because by Tuesday, nothing is happening. Most likely, most traders have given up on, but I kept posting it, right? The trade is there we kept posting that, and this is what happened overall. We know the rest. So where do we go from there, folks? Well, from there, for me, I extend the chart, and what do I see? I see 59 and a half. So right now, it's aggressive, but it was aggressive last week because I remember people telling me, "Oh, didn't you make a mistake by setting up those strikes on 75 puts and 100 calls on Win because we were at 86 at the time, right?" So, well, this is what happened. We finished $6 in the money, folks. Yeah, $6. Actually, it went to 68 something, $6 in the money, and all of that it took 3 days. Amazing, truly amazing. So here. 60 puts, and it's okay to use July 10 because you're gonna have plenty of time, and if you get in the money very quick, because this thing could gap down big, folks, on Monday, or gap up big, because hey, who am I to say? So can we open to 65? Yeah. If we open to 65, then the target to 60 in 4 days could look like, oh, that's just in that case, where will I go to? So maybe actually we do July, then they're gonna really say this guy is going cuckoo. July 10, 50 puts. And July 10, let's say we go back to the EMA. From here, that's 19 point, 19 point. So we can take 70, we take 85 calls. Okay, that's fine. So July 10, 85 call, July 10, 50 put. But some of us, if you have some July 2nd, they're aggressive, but you just day trade that. Come on, folks. Come on. Okay, so that's that. So next, Roku. Roku and Beyond, there are two stocks that can be a pain in the derriere, but sometimes they can be rewarding. So look at where we are right now. Here, Roku 122. Roku struggled to go to 135. So I'm going to go very quickly to the weekly and look at the size of these. Oh boy, oh boy. So is it only 5 points last week? Oh no, that's the low. So the high 134, the low, so 15 points. So yeah, this is stock to trade 15 points at least from here. So 15 points in each direction. What does it give us? That gives us 130, 135. So July, but they're gonna be expensive, my friend. July 10, 135 on Roku. So July 10, yeah, because realistically, let's be honest, yeah. Yeah, no, we do 140 because we don't want to give them the money if that doesn't end up not being the direction. If that end up being, that's the beauty of trading this thing, right? Because we take out of the money options, which is a major no-no, especially over a week time. Now over almost 2 weeks time, because let's be honest. So if it's not moving toward your direction, you don't want to spend that money. Hence, the necessity of being out of the money. But now if it's moving toward your direction, my friend, they're going to be cheap and then they're going to be appreciating. And again, managing your position, right? Something is going toward your position, add more of that. That's how you make more money. All right. So then in the opposite direction from 120, can we say July 10? Where's the EMA here? The EMA is 115. That's not actually the other one. I can go to the middle Celts, right? That's 108. So July 10, 105 puts. All right, here we have it, folks. So we talked about Win, we talked about Roku. How about B1? Last but not least, B1 alerted us. So let's go to the daily first before going to the weekly. So we added, when did we add B1? Last week, yeah, we added B1. I'm not sure. Was it yeah, it was not Monday. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday, and then Thursday. I think there was a trader who traded that actually because it was like from the open, big time. Yeah, I remember that. Check back into the Discord room. Some of us, because I was one of them. Hey, I put in a support, right? I put in an alert to say, hey, alert me if it's below 55. I was hoping for support at the EMA, whatever. And then somebody said, oh, I'm going to take them the next day. Yeah, we were Tuesday, and then they say you're going to take them the next day. And then I put a command then, yeah, in the meantime, while we're all waiting for this bullish move or whatever, the stocks keep posting lower lows. Thank you. Have a nice day. Came Thursday, bam. Lower lows, folks. This stuff doesn't lower lows, lower highs. Use the trend. Really, all of us, we will get into just doing technical analysis on a chart to say, hey, this is what we see. What's the most logical thing that can happen out of the? It doesn't happen this time, but you do that consistently, you made money. This is how we end up with this alert that came in on Tuesday, and then 2 days later, this was a free fall at the open. I kid you not. Some of us, we were busy trading other stuff, but yeah. So then what's the story on here? So right now we are standing at 141, which was pretty much almost like the breakout from out of last time. So for us, if we go to the weekly, we are just looking for strikes, folks. The upper Bollinger here, it's at 168. We haven't approached that in a long time. Okay. So I'm going to say, how are we going to trade this one? We're going to trade them with July 2nd. Yeah, we can trade them with July 2nd. Yep, we can. So I'm going to say 165 calls. So 20 points, 25 points almost from this. So again, I don't know where we're going to open on Monday, folks. I don't know where we're going to open. So that's B1. And on the put side, from this level on here, we're taking 25 points. Well, I go to the EMA 20. That's the green line. So that's 120. So 120 puts. Excellent. Folks, I tried, but I still did not manage to keep this below 20 minutes or 15 minutes. So shame on me, shame on me. Hopefully, I can redeem myself in the upcoming week during a 4-day period time to score at least 110 background days.